Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1021A, and today's date is July 13th, 2016, and the title of the episode is The Fed Repeats 2008. The economy is fine, nothing to worry about, believe us. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, today on the market, we see the market was flat. Of course, the corporate media is out there saying, yes, flat is good. It's good when the market is flat. It's good when it goes up. It's good when it goes down. It's good all the time. Well, this is their propaganda to convince you that everything is absolutely fine. We see gold is moving up once again after it was suppressed. And we understand because we've been looking at all these economic indicators for quite a while. And we understand that the people, they're really not driving the economy anymore. The people are sitting on the sidelines. The people, they're not really contributing the way they used to. And we know the economy is being driven by the central banks. And there is new data out there. And it's showing that 1 in 3 Americans, they have less than $500 in savings to cover any type of an emergency. What that really means is people don't have a savings right now. And what we're seeing right now is that as this economy deteriorates and as people lose their jobs, as people can't find those jobs, as people maybe take on 1, 2, 3 part-time jobs, they can't save any money. The money that's coming in barely allows them to live, to take care of their family. It goes for the essentials. That's it. Now, this survey that was out there, they Bargain Fox, they asked 3,600 people how much money they have in their savings account for an emergency. And this is where they got this number. If we go to the UK, 1 in 3 Brits, they have less than £100. 45% say they have less than $1,000. Only 35.7% of Americans have more than $3,000 in savings. We have been living on credit, on debt, because this is what the central bankers want. This is their entire system. We've been suckered into living on debt, period. This is why many people don't have any savings. Now, of course, add on no jobs, part-time jobs, and the economy is absolutely terrible. You have a disastrous situation. Now, when we look around the country, we realize things are deteriorating very quickly. We know that retail, many stores are closing. Many people are being laid off. We've been talking about the retail industry where sales are continually declining. We've been looking at the Restaurant Performance Index. That is declining. Traffic is slowing down. People are not even going out to eat at this point because they realize they just don't have the money for it. They would like to, but you know what? They find it cheaper going and purchasing the food and maybe making it on their own. Because as more and more of these companies lay off people, guess what? No one's going to be able to find a job. Because if we have 10 to 15 tech companies laying off thousands of people, where are these tech people going to find jobs? If we have these financial institutions laying off tens of thousands of people, where are these people going to get jobs? Same thing with the energy sector, the retail sector. They won't be able to. And when we look at real estate, we realize that real estate is not doing as well as the U.S. government central bankers want us to believe. Actually, it has gotten a lot worse. I'm seeing around the country, in the East Coast, the West, the Midwest, out West, all over the place. And I'm not talking about the 20 cities that they look at. I'm talking about all the outlying areas. I'm talking about the other cities. We're starting to see real estate prices dramatically come down. Actually, many people are just taking their houses off the market. There's no traffic. Now, in Manhattan, author Michelle Higgins says New York City's ultra-luxury real estate frenzy, it's finally come to an end. The reasons for the slowdown? Well, we see that people are holding on to their funds. Big spenders are sitting on their investments. We see China has tightened restrictions on capital outflows. And in the first half of the year, contracts signed for Manhattan residents costing $10 million or more dropped by 18% to 107 units, down from 130 a year ago. And we're seeing this in San Francisco. We're seeing it in the outlying areas. And I went to take a look today, and those houses that I've been tracking, some of them have just come off the market. They decided, you know what, we're not going to sell right now because their price is continually dropping. And they finally said, enough's enough. We're just going to take it off the market. And we're seeing a lot of people do this right now. And you have to remember, the hot season, no pun intended, is the summer months for real estate. People want to be in there before school starts. And as we move into the winter, it's just going to get a lot worse. Now, we understand Bernanke was out in Japan, and they're implementing helicopter money out there. It's a pilot program. And Fed's Loretta Mester said helicopter money could be considered to stimulate America's economy if conventional monetary policy fails. And Loretta's saying the next step is helicopter money. If we should find ourselves in a situation where we wanted to be more accommodative, we might go in that direction. Well, I'm saying we're going to see negative interest rates. I'm going to say we're going to see helicopter money. And they're going to push this as hard as they possibly can to prop up the system longer and longer until they're ready to bring it down. Because everything that they're doing, it's not helping the economy. It's not helping job creation. It's not helping manufacturing. It's not helping retail. Think about it. What they've done, have you seen anything improve? And I'm not talking about the bubbles they created. The everyday person who is continually losing their job, the everyday person that's working in retail, things have not gotten better. Health insurance, premiums are rising. People are losing jobs. Housing market is coming down now. People are getting out of the stock market because they realize this whole thing's one gigantic bubble. Student loans, people can't pay them back. You know why? They can't find jobs. But don't worry, the Fed is out there with their beige book today. And they said there's modest improvements. And there's going to be no rate hikes. And we knew there was going to be no rate hikes. Of course, it's the Brexit. That's why there's no rate hikes right now. They said the labor market conditions remain stable as employment continued to grow modestly since the previous report, and wage pressures remain modest to moderate. Price pressures remain slight. Manufacturing activity was mixed, and they see it strengthening. Real estate activity continued to strengthen, and banks reported overall increases in loan demand. Agricultural activity was mixed but generally improving. The outlook was generally positive across broad segments of the economy, including retail sales, manufacturing, and real estate. It all looks good, except for everything that we've been reporting on. Except for the decline of manufacturing, the closing of all the stores, people being laid off from retail. Actually, the CEOs of many of the retail stores reporting sales are down. Real estate prices are dropping now. Sales are dropping and falling. Unemployment is completely manipulated. So what are they talking about? It sounds like 2008 all over again when they told us, listen, everything's contained, everything looks good, real estate's not going to come down, subprime's contained, Bear Stearns, no problem over there, Lehman's fine. No one's going to need any money whatsoever because the economy is doing absolutely well. We're forecasting absolutely no recession whatsoever in the year that we had the recession. And this is what we're hearing right now. They're telling us the same story. They're telling us that everything is fine when it isn't. Remember, the U.S. government, the central bankers, they always give us the opposite information. right up to the point when everything completely falls apart. And when it falls apart, they tell you it's not falling apart. And then they lie about the reason why it is falling apart. And this is what's going to happen. Because everything that we've been looking at, all the economic indicators, it points to one thing: a total collapse of the system. All the bubbles are going to pop. And we're seeing bubbles already popping. We're seeing signs that the economy is in a huge amount of trouble. The Italian banks, Deutsche Bank, actually the European banks, the US banks. And we can see right now they're propping it up, keeping it going until they can blame it on something else. Until they can say, listen, it wasn't us, it was the people they were rioting. It was the people from Europe because they allowed the UK to exit the European Union. It was because of this event, because of this country or group. This is what they're going to do. They're going to point the finger someplace else. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.